Every year you go without this information is a year that's already costing you. And the frustrating part is nobody is coming to tell you. It's not happening in school. By the time most people figure this out on their own, they're already in their 30s wishing someone had told them at 16. That gap between when you could have known and when you actually find out is expensive and completely unnecessary. That's why I made this video, because I figured this out at 14 and I want you to know it now. Not later, not when it's already quietly costing you something real. So let's actually have the conversation most people don't get. I'm Vienna, like the city in Austria, not the sausage. I'm 14. My mom and I have traveled to 20 countries together across 5 continents, all on regular school breaks. Okay, so I want to start here because I think it's actually important to understand why we don't already know this information. Think about what school teaches you. You learn algebra, you learn about historical events, and how to write a 5 paragraph essay. And I'm not saying those things don't matter, but no one class sits you down and says, okay, here's how money actually works in real life. Here's what a Roth IRA is. Here's what compound interest does to your future. Here's what waiting 5 years to start investing actually cost you in real numbers. That conversation doesn't happen. And I've thought about why that is. I don't think it's anything dramatic. I just think that the people that design what we learn also were never really taught it either. So it keeps getting passed down, generation after generation. Just keep figuring it out too late on their own. And that gap, that space between you could have learned and when you actually do, is where so much money just quietly disappears. Not because anyone made a bad decision, but because no one knew. That's the part that bothers me most. So, here's the conversation most people don't get. Money has a relationship with time, and that relationship is one of the most important things you will ever understand about your financial life. Not how much you make, not how smart you are, not even how disciplined you are, just how early you started. Here's why. When you invest money in something like an S&P 500 index fund, which is basically a basket of the 500 biggest companies in America that grow your money for you, and it historically grows around 10 to 10.5% per year on average. And it grows not just on what you put in, but on the growth itself. That's compounding. And compounding is where the real magic happens. Let me give you an example. If you invest $50 a month starting at age 14 and keep going consistently all the way to age 70, at the historical S&P 500 average return of 10.5%, that $50 a month grows into just under $2 million. $1,987,279 to be exact. The total amount you ever put in across your whole life would be only $33,600. The rest, nearly $2 million, came from time and compounding. That's money you never worked for, never stressed about. Time did that. And I know that sounds made up. It's not. It's just real math, but here's the flip side. Every year you wait to start the process, the outcome shrinks. Not a little, a lot. Because you're not just losing 1 year of contributions. You're losing 1 year of compounding on every single dollar that comes after it, too. The cost of waiting isn't just the year itself, it ripples forward through your entire financial future. That's the conversation nobody gets when they're 16. But now you have it. I want to tell you a little about where F.A.T.E actually came from, because I think it makes this feel more real than just numbers on the screen. My mom figured this out about a decade ago. Not when she was my age, later. When she really understood it, it was like she had been making financial decisions her whole life without actually knowing how money worked over time. So she started. She got intentional. She started investing consistently. She started paying attention to where money was going and why. And then something kind of unexpectedly happened. On top of the financial stuff, she started traveling, not waiting until retirement, and not waiting until everything was perfectly lined up. We just went on school breaks. during windows that actually existed in real life right now. And she brought me, and she taught me her financial lessons. I've been to over 20 countries across 5 continents, and I'm 14 years old. And every single trip has changed something about how I think, about money, about what I want, about what actually matters. Those experiences are compounding in me right now, the same way money compounds in an account, shaping decisions I haven't even made yet. That's why FATE stands for Financial Awareness Travel Early. Not one or the other, both. Because my mom learned that waiting costs you in both directions. It costs you financially and it costs you in experiences. And you can't always get either one back once the window closes. Okay, I want to get a little specific here because I think seeing the actual numbers makes this sink in better than just talking about it in theory. My mom and I did the math for this. If you start investing $50 a month at 14 and increase it gradually as you get older, growing to 100 at 18, 200 at 25, and $400 at 30, and then you stop completely at 35 and you just let it sit, by age 65, you would have around two and a half, the total amount you ever put in across your life, about $46,000. The rest, over 2.5 million, came from time and compounding. Now here's the comparison that really got me. Someone who waits until 30 to start and invests $200 a month every single month without missing one, all the way to 65, puts in $84,000 total and ends up with $860,000. They were more disciplined in some ways, they contributed more money, they never stopped, but they ended up with less than a third of what the person who started at 14 ended up with. The only real difference is when they started. That's not a trick, and that's just what time does when you give it a long enough runway. And that runway is what most people don't realize they're shortening every single year they wait. So I don't want this to be information that feels interesting for a few minutes and gets scrolled past. I want you to actually do something with it. So here's the smallest possible starting point. If you're under 18, you can open what's called a custodial brokerage account with a parent or guardian. If you're 18 or older, you can open a Roth IRA on your own. Both of these let you invest in an S&P 500 index fund. My mom and I personally use Fidelity Million, and you can search others in whatever platform you use. Then set up automatic contribution, even $25 a month, even 10 if that's what you have right now. The amount matters less than you think at the beginning. What matters is that it starts, that the habit exists, that the account is open and something is going in. Here's what I know from watching my mom and from doing this myself at 14. The hardest part isn't the investing, it's starting. It's deciding that right now, even with a small amount, even without knowing everything, is better than waiting until it feels more ready or more perfect or more like the right time. The right time is just early. That's it. That's the whole secret. So, that's the conversation nobody had with us. The one that should have happened in school, at home, somewhere, but mostly just doesn't happen. And knowing it now, even today, already puts you ahead of where most people are when they finally figure it out. FATE, Financial Awareness Travel Early, is just this. See your money clearly, move early, experience the world while you still have the energy and the time to let it shape you. Don't wait for permission from a system that was never really designed to give it to you. I'm 14 and I need your help to grow this channel so I can bring you and your friends more valuable content from a teen's perspective. Like and subscribe, I really appreciate it. And put in the comments if this clicked for you. Thank you for watching, and make sure to come back to Wandering Vienna, because there's always more to explore. Bye!